Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Dean's Tech Talk. Okay, so first we're going to look at what comes in the box itself with the X99 Deluxe motherboard. So let's get right into it. So let's have a look over here first. So we have here this easy adapter for your front panel connectors right here. And then we also have here 4 bags of SATA cables, 2 in each bag. So we have 4 right here. Then we also have this right here for the extra fan extension card that we have here. That goes with this. And then we also have here the M.2 drive holder that erects from the motherboard. Then we also have here the Wi-Fi card that comes with the board itself. We also have the 3-way SLI bridge here, or 2-way. Then we have here like the thermometer sensor. And we also here have the Asus Hyper M.2 x 4 PCI Express card right here. So this is pretty nice, besides just using the onboard M.2. This is pretty cool. So that's all that came into the box itself. Okay, now that we got to see what comes inside the box, let's actually take a look at the board itself. Okay, let's first start out with the heat sinks. There are MOSFET heat sinks on the top of the board and another MOSFET heat sink next to the rear I/O, as you can see there. And there's a heat pipe connecting the 2 heat sinks. Then bottom of the board, there's also a PCH heat sink with another MOSFET heat sink connected with it with another heat pipe. And then, as you see here, that these heat sinks have an awesome white and black aesthetic look to them, except for this one in the middle. So it really gives it a nice look. Then the rear I/O cover goes all the way down the bottom of the board, covering the onboard audio. It does have the new 2011 V3 socket, which is powered by a single 8-pin on the top of the board here. And if you don't know what CPUs go into the 2011 V3 socket, it's Intel's Haswell E processors. It does have Asus DGI plus VRM 8-phase power design with a 4-phase power design for DRAM. And its capacitors have a lifespan of 5,000 hours. The board has a total of 8 DIMM slots that can handle up to 64 gigabytes of RAM, and each slot can hold up to 8 gigabytes. And it has an overclocking speed of 3200 megahertz, and that's DDR4, of course. And it supports quad-channel memory. Some onboard overclocking features and tweakers are the SLI and crossfire switch here for 2 or 3-way GPU configurations. Then right next to it, we have the Easy XMP switch for easy RAM overclockings. And then next to that, we have the EPU switch, which can turn on basically energy saving mode for a motherboard. Then next to that, we have the TPU switch, which is for overclocking the CPU. Then on the top here, we have the Mem OK button for your RAM. Then back on the bottom, as you see here, we have your power and your onboard power and reset buttons. And next to that, we have the Q code reader. And basically, you can figure out what error is going on your motherboard. And you could check out what those codes mean in your user's manual that came inside the box. Right next to it, we have the clear CMOS button right here, which is great for if you're having an overclocking and it fails. You could push that, it resets the BIOS, and you don't have to take out that CMOS battery right there, which is staying up, which is a really nice design that I really like that they added. Going on to storage support, we have 12 serial ATA ports right here, giving us, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And that is at 6 gigabits a second, and a SATA Express ports giving us 12 gigabits a second, right here where this pink tab is. Then we have an additional M.2 Gen 3 x 4 slot, which speeds up to 32 gigabits a second. It has an M-key design that supports 2242, 2260, and 2280 M.2 drives. We also have the HyperX M.2 x 4 that came in the box that I showed earlier. So then when you look at this whole thing, we could support up to any type of storage device that is currently on the market. Moving on to PCI Express slots, we have 5 physical x 16 slots right here. Then we also have 1 x 4 slot right here. The feature they added for the PCI Express slots is the SLI and crossfire switch that I showed earlier right here, which turns on lights on the motherboard to show you the best fit configuration for the board. So it will say to put a graphics card in this slot, and then if you're doing a two-way, put it in like this slot right here, you know. So it tells you which one to put it in so you have the best performance. Now for onboard audio, we have the Asus Crystal Sound 2 right here with Japanese-made capacitors. And then we also have here their HD audio right here that's already plugged in. Now let's have a look at the rear I/O. As you see, we have 10 USB 3.0s that could use Asus USB 3 boost technology. Then we have 2 USB 2.0s for legacy devices. Then we have 2 Intel Gigabit Ethernet ports that uses Asus TurboLAN utility. And then we have the world's first motherboard that has a 802.11ace 3x3 Wi-Fi, which could pull ridiculous speeds up to 1300 megabits a second, and that's that little wireless card I showed in the beginning. And it also has Bluetooth as well. Then we have the USB BIOS flashback button, which is a pretty cool feature because it lets you update your BIOS without a CPU and RAM installed. And all you need is a flash drive with the driver correctly installed on it. Then we do also have our audio ports right here on the bottom. That was all for the rear I/O. Now let's look at the fan headers. There are a total of 6 4-pin fan headers that support both PWM and DC fans. And we do get a fan extension card that came in the box that I showed earlier, which gives us a total of 9 fan headers that support PWM fans. And the motherboard will see the extra fans independently, not as one fan with that card. And now comes down to conclusion time. This motherboard packs a lot for an ATX motherboard. And it has a lot of amazing features that you probably won't use for a normal PC user. But if you're a computer enthusiast like me, you probably will use all those features. I would not recommend this motherboard to a normal PC user or for a first-time build, because you're paying for things that you won't use. Why pay for more money when you're not going to utilize all the features on that board? Put that money towards something else like a processor or a graphics card. But if you're a gamer or just a PC enthusiast like me and want the latest and greatest, you definitely want to look into this board. Now, I know I didn't show all the software features that this motherboard has to offer, but I will soon in the future when I get this thing up and running. Well, that wraps it up for this video, guys. Please subscribe down below. Please hit that button. And also, like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it. If you're in the middle, comment down below. If you have any tips, please put it in the comments. Also, go check out and go subscribe at Jay's 2 Cents, Ryan's Tech Tips, and also Paul's Hardware. And for some great cell phone reviews, look at SuperSaft TV. He is really, really good at cell phone reviews. So that ends it, guys, for this video. Please come by next time, and next time I will have a great review for the NZXT H440. See you guys next time. Thank you.